Tonight, standoff at McGill as pro-Palestinian protesters dig in.
So this is a final warning.
The university wants them to leave. Protesters are vowing to stay put.
I think that McGill is not taking this as seriously as it should.
As encampments spread to another Canadian campus. London drug stores across Western Canada suddenly shuttered after a cyber attack.
To me, that's bad. It is really bad. It's bad for business as well, you know. It's not fair.
And we hit the road along the Trans Mountain Pipeline expansion just as oil is about to flow.
A lot of people, if they're not farming, they're working in oil and gas.
After more than a decade in the works, why it is still dividing Canadians.
From CBC News, this is The National with Chief Correspondent Adrian Arsenault.
Thanks for joining us. The anti-war, pro-Palestinian protests that have swept across university campuses in the U.S. are growing in Canada, with the largest encampment in Montreal roughly doubling in size overnight. There are now about 50 tents at McGill University, fenced in and dug in, hosting a crowd of protesters calling for the university to cut financial ties with Israel and entities they see as complicit with it. Tension is growing. Talks have given way to threats, with McGill declaring the encampment illegal. Sarah Levitt has been at McGill all day. So, Sarah, there still seems to be a lot of activity at the encampment where you are.
Yeah, a rather large crowd both in the encampment and around. Organizers say they have a number of activities planned, including a letter writing session to people in Gaza. This, though, was the scene earlier today.
So this is a final warning.
In front of a defiant crowd, a man with McGill University security demands protesters leave.
We will now consider other options to ensure that our instructions are followed, including seeking assistance from the police.
Those here, though, say they aren't going anywhere. Since Saturday, the campsite continues to grow. Almost 50 tents are staked to the front lawn of campus.
I think that McGill is not taking this as seriously as it should. McGill needs to understand that this is student tuition that is going into literal genocide, and that these students have a right to use their voice.
Staff and students are among those calling for McGill to divest from funds and companies with ties to Israel. That call continues to spread at campuses across the U.S. and in Canada, with a new encampment now at the University of British Columbia.
There are thousands of protesters across North America who are standing in solidarity.
McGill has denied requests for an interview, but in a statement says the encampment includes outside actors and will no longer be tolerated, after it says it saw evidence of anti-Semitism and intimidation from protesters, though it did not provide examples.
We reject any claims of this. We've seen no evidence of any of this, and we've made it very clear that this is an inclusive community.
But there are students at McGill who don't agree and told CBC News they're afraid of speaking out against the protest. Others come angry and vocal. This man came out to call out the protesters.
They shouldn't be taking over McGill's territory and involving McGill's campus. They should be doing it peacefully on the streets and then go home and then do it again the next day. And they should probably try and force the Hamas to give themselves up. And that would be the end of it all.
So, Sarah, the protesters there clearly saying they're not going to budge, but I gather McGill may not give them a choice.
Yeah, CBC News has learned a provisional injunction request will be filed tomorrow on behalf of 2 McGill students asking that this encampment be removed. It names a number of defendants, including those taking part in this protest. It also names McGill as an interested party.
All right, Sarah Levitt and McGill in Montreal. Now, protesters at Columbia University in New York also say they are staying put, defying an ultimatum from the school to leave or face suspension.
Essentially, these are attempts to stifle the student movement.
We will not move until Columbia meets our demands or they are moved by force.
Supporters formed a ring around the encampment to protect it and waited out the 2 p.m. deadline. Protests continue at more than a dozen universities across the U.S. amid crackdowns that have led to more than 1,000 arrests. As those protests start to build across North America, in the Middle East, there may soon be a shift in the war. Signs Israel and Hamas may be closer to a new ceasefire deal. But as Briar Stewart is about to show us, attacks in Rafah have not slowed.
Another morning begins, preparing to bury the dead in Gaza. Airstrikes overnight killed more than 24 people in Rafah, among them at least one baby. This woman shows where another infant was saved from the rubble earlier, after 3 homes were destroyed. As people sift through the rubble, there's no break from the sound of Israeli aircraft overhead. Every day people die who have nothing to do with what's happening, said this man, speaking to a freelance journalist working for CBC News. Even as Israel vows to carry out a ground offensive in Rafah, there are some signs that a ceasefire deal could be closer.
The only thing standing between the people of Gaza and a ceasefire is Hamas.
There are reports the ceasefire could last 40 days, potentially freeing thousands of imprisoned Palestinians in Israel in exchange for fewer than 40 of the 130 hostages believed to still be in Gaza. The families of 2 hostages pleaded for leaders to agree to a deal.
We urge you to do everything and bring our people home now.
Egypt's prime minister says the political situation in Israel and in Gaza is frustrating the negotiations. A delegation from Hamas was in Cairo, meeting with mediators from Egypt and Qatar.
A lot of pressure internally in both sides not to reach any kind of compromise.
And some of those trapped in an increasingly desperate war zone have little hope a ceasefire is coming. Everyone is fooling Gaza, says this man. Even your own blood and flesh, they fool you. What is more likely, they believe, is what they've been experiencing for nearly 7 months. Another night of misery. Briar Stewart, CBC News, London.
3 U.S. marshals have been shot dead and at least 4 other officers wounded when a suburb in North Carolina erupted in gunfire.
Today, they're not going home. You know, 3 people lost their lives.
Police say officers were serving a warrant at a home when they came under fire. Residents in the area were warned to stay inside. Witnesses say they heard several minutes of gunfire, and police say a single suspect was killed in the standoff. 2 other people have been held for questioning. And police in British Columbia say they have made an arrest in a case we first told you about last week. A man stabbed and killed at a popular tourist attraction. Investigators say Kalwinder Sohi was killed while on the White Rock Promenade last Tuesday evening. Now a 28-year-old, a Surrey man, has been arrested, but police have not confirmed his identity or if he's been charged. They also haven't said if there are any links between this case and a second stabbing just 3 days earlier on that same promenade. Canadian politicians are demanding some answers tonight after being told they were the targets of China-backed hackers years ago but weren't informed by their own government. Ashley Burke now with why they're only learning about this now and how the breach initially happened.
This email looks innocuous, but hidden deep inside this photo is dangerous data in a single pixel. When opened, it can spy on your email activity. Messages like this were allegedly sent by China-backed hackers to lawmakers worldwide. Now Canadian parliamentarians are learning they were targets too.
This is part of the assault on democracy.
Senator Mary Lou McPhedran is among the members of the Inter-Parliamentary Alliance on China, informed last week by the group that they were hit in 2021.
In 2021, when this happened, that every one of us named as a parliamentarian as a target should have been told.
The FBI says it warned Canada several years ago about the cyber activity, but 18 Canadian MPs and senators say they weren't told. Now they want answers.
Our work as parliamentarians was under attack, and that once again Canadian authorities responsible for protecting our democracy did not pass critical information along to parliamentarians.
Last month, the UK and US directly tied China to the cyber attacks that hit millions of people.
This was the work of Chinese state-affiliated actors. These actors gained access to the Electoral Commission's email and file sharing systems.
Canadian authorities won't say why affected MPs weren't alerted.
And of course, I have an account here, I have an account in the constituency office, I have a personal account, I have a cell phone, and I don't know what's been penetrated or what's not been penetrated. I just am in a bit of the dark.
Experts say this kind of attack is concerning because it could be the first stage of a more vicious hack.
It really does set attackers up for much larger, much more damaging attacks and persistent spying and espionage campaigns as they go along.
This isn't the first time the government's been accused of failing to notify Canadians about foreign threats. That was a key complaint at the public inquiry into foreign interference that's expected to release its preliminary findings on Friday. Ashley Burke, CBC News, Ottawa.
London Drugs has now taken down its phone lines, citing the same cybersecurity incident that's forced the temporary closure of all of its 79 stores. Julia Wong now with how this is affecting customers and what could be forcing the retailer to take such drastic measures.
From Manitoba to BC, most customers looking to stop at London Drugs were turned away.
They told me that they were closed, that the tills weren't working.
The drugstore chain is dealing with the fallout of what it calls a cybersecurity incident, first discovered Sunday. All 79 locations now closed indefinitely. Surprising news to some.
It is really bad. It's bad for business as well, you know.
Pharmacists are still working to help customers with urgent needs.
I just phoned them at the prescription counter and they delivered it to me at the front door.
Since that call, the company says its phone lines have been taken down and will only be restored after the investigation is done. Now those pharmacy customers told to show up in person. In a statement, London Drugs says it immediately took countermeasures to protect its network and data. The incident is likely a ransomware attack, this expert says.
It is very important to minimize the damage to systems. I call this stop the bleeding. And what organizations do is they're overcautious and they shut down all their systems while they investigate.
In recent years, Indigo, Sobeys, and Suncor have also fallen prey to cyber attacks, impacting their customer service in various ways, making this issue a priority, says this expert.
The boards and CEOs are realizing that there needs to be a sort of a game plan to live in a world of threat and understand the threats in sort of real time.
For shoppers, questions remain over how a chain they rely on could become so vulnerable.
I just can't imagine that it was happening. And I didn't realize how serious it was.
London Drugs says there's no indication customer or employee data has been impacted, but adds it will notify those affected if it discovers personal information has been compromised. Julia Wong, CBC News, Edmonton.
In Toronto, 12 people are under arrest and facing more than 100 charges, all in connection to an alleged credit fraud scheme dating back to 2016.
They're applying for credit cards. They're applying for lines of credit. They're opening bank accounts in which they can funnel money in and out of.
Investigators say the accused forged 680 fake identities used to steal roughly $4 million. $300,000 in cash was seized as a result of the arrests. Police believe there are still outstanding suspects. And police in Halifax have now charged a third teenager, a 16-year-old, with second-degree murder in connection with the death of another 16-year-old last week. Ahmed Al-Marak was stabbed and killed in the parking lot of the Halifax shopping centre. The 14-year-old boy and a 14-year-old girl were also charged last week. The federal government is under pressure tonight to release more details about its new multi-billion-dollar agreement with Honda. As Marina von Stackelberg shows us, there are calls for guarantees that all the jobs created will be Canadian.
Release the information. Prove me wrong. I dare you.
Conservative MP Rick Perkins wants to know who will build Canada's new electric vehicle factories. He's pushing the government to reveal the contract details on 6 government deals.
What is the final number? of allowable foreign replacement workers in this contract, and how much are Canadians going to have to pay to employ these foreign replacement workers.
Ottawa has spent billions to subsidize multiple electric vehicle and battery factories. The latest contract is with Honda, announced just last week. Conservatives say those jobs should go to Canadians, and they're not alone.
Whenever we give public money to projects in our country, we need ironclad guarantees that will create jobs in Canada.
This pushback follows a recent letter to the Prime Minister from Canada's building trade unions. It accuses Stellantis and LG of using non-Canadian workers to build its facility in Windsor. But the company says of its 2,000 employees, it's only bringing in 70 from the outside, and only because they're installing specialized equipment. The union wants the Prime Minister to intervene.
When you have a Canadian worker sitting at home collecting employment insurance that is just completely inexplicable to that Canadian worker, we can't have that happen.
Justin Trudeau insists as many Canadians as possible will get those jobs.
We will be there to lean in to make sure that the intent and the support of the contracts is there. We need to make sure there are as many Canadian workers as possible, if not almost all Canadian workers.
The federal government says it can't reveal contract details because it could hurt Canada's chances of securing more EV deals in the future. Marina von Stackelberg, CBC News, Ottawa.
As wildfire season gets underway, the Ontario government is set to improve healthcare coverage for those on the front lines of those fires.
They need to expand it to each and every province in Canada, too.
Why some say the proposed legislation is long overdue. Next. Plus, Aaron Collins is on the path of the Trans Mountain Pipeline.
A lot of people in this area, if they're not farming, they're working in oil and gas.
The first in a three-part series, why it continues to divide even with the oil about to start flowing. And later, on a historic night in BC, a dream come true for a young dancer. His moment in the spotlight. We're back in 2.
The National.
Thanks for joining us.
Canada's most nominated news program at the Canadian Screen Awards. Best news or information program.
Ukraine doesn't want to give this up.
Best talk series.
You talk a lot about the importance of being a refugee.
Best anchor.
We are back in Port-au-Basque.
Best host. And best national newscast.
An extraordinary moment for this country.
You've taken every stage.
CBC News, The National.
Border Patrol agents noticed that there was a white pickup.
Live and on demand.
Flash flooding in Texas, submerged vehicles, including that one, which apparently caught fire. Parts of the state saw up to 20 centimeters of rain. Several flood warnings are still in effect, but the worst of the system has now passed. And that storm came after a series of powerful tornadoes hit parts of the U.S. over the weekend, from Texas right through to Iowa. There are reports of more than 100 twisters, and at least 5 people have been killed. The town of Sulphur in eastern Oklahoma was particularly hard hit, with most of the downtown now entirely destroyed. Well, as Canada braces for another destructive wildfire season, those fighting the flames on the front lines in Ontario could soon have better health care coverage. As Katie Nicholson tells us, for many, it has been a long time coming.
Tom LeBlanc developed terminal cancer after fighting wildfires for 35 years.
This one's 2017.
His wife, Kim, was locked in a battle for compensation for nearly a decade.
That's Tom sitting there.
Last fall, she had this message for the Ford government.
Stand up, put your big boy pants on, and let's see how we fix this.
Now, Ontario is proposing new legislation
to ensure wildland firefighters and investigators have the same presumptive coverage that municipal firefighters have.
If passed, Ontario's wildfire fighters would get the same coverage for cancer, heart disease, and PTSD as other firefighters.
Holy shit, took them long enough.
For LeBlanc, this is closure and a sign of respect for wildfire fighters and their families.
Now it'll be an automatic. They won't have to waste all that time and money and heartache and, wait for WSIB to respond.
Only 5 other provinces offer wildfire fighters the same blanket coverage as structural firefighters.
I think it's long overdue. And I think now if other provinces are paying attention that they need to expand it to each and every province in Canada too.
But the National Union of Public and General Employees wants the federal government to give wildfire fighters the same national classification as other firefighters, which would net them a better pension rate.
Unfortunately, they're excluded as firefighters for those benefits and not recognized as firefighters at all, and we think that's a tragedy.
Kim LeBlanc says wildfire fighters across the country need to be treated the same.
It should be an level playing field. They should all be treated with respect and concern. And, you know, given if you want us to do the job, then you best be looking after us.
After all, demands on wildfire fighters are expected to soar this summer, and so inevitably will the risks they face.
So, Katie, this is a big deal. Can we walk through what it means for the retired wildfire fighters?
Yeah, so the province is actually baking in retroactivity to this proposed legislation. So wildfire fighters who develop the associated cancers or heart disease should be able to make claims dating back to 1960. Now, when we first started looking into this last year, we tried to find some of Tom LeBlanc's contemporaries. And as we started to identify them, we found that many of them had either developed cancer or heart disease or had died from either of them. And so essentially what this means is they or their next of kin now have a clear path to making compensation claims.
Oh, really important. Katie Nicholson, thank you. As Canadians work past the age of 65, many are shocked to see the benefits they've received their entire careers cut back.
It's like one day to the next. And it's like, how can that be?
Why some say this problem needs to be addressed. And after years of protest and debate, oil is about to start flowing through the Trans Mountain Pipeline expansion. But what do those living along its path really think?
We had a lot of business indirectly from the pipeline.
Aaron Collins hits the road in the first of a 3-part series. And a unique solution to the housing crisis in British Columbia.
There's no possible way I'd be able to buy anything.
How a group came together for a common dream. The National breaks down the stories shaping our world. Next. The Olympic flame is on its final voyage to the Summer Games in Paris. It boarded a historic French sailing vessel on Saturday. It's now on a 12-day journey from Greece to southern France. It will then spend a few months making its way across the country before landing in Paris for the opening ceremony on July the 26th. Well, Canada's average working age has never been older, but many workers don't realize that their health benefits could decrease significantly the moment they turn 65. Georgie Smythe spoke with seniors about the impacts of this new reality.
Even though Stephen Booth has passed his 65th birthday, life continues to surprise him. He didn't expect to be still working retail, and he didn't know that, even as he faced illness, he'd lose some of his group benefits.
During that time, depression hit me pretty bad. And so that was just one more thing on top of everything else.
The majority of Canada's private long-term disability plans only pay out to a person's 65th birthday. Even if they continue to work, it's in the fine print.
It's like one day to the next. And it's like, how can that be?
Because government disability plans generally pay less than private plans, it also means less money in Stephen's pocket.
We definitely see more concern about it in times like this. When
the coverage ends at 65 because in the past, that's when most people would retire.
That goes back to the majority of plans, government plans and other plans that coordinate with the long-term disability that all end at 65. And that's because for most people, they're eligible to begin their retirement pension at that age.
But some people can't afford to stop working at 65, so they stay in their jobs despite the smaller compensation package. It happened to David Harvey.
From my last years of working, I can see that the employer did not pay me as much in pay and benefits as they provided to my colleagues who were one day under 65 years.
He says older workers shouldn't receive less compensation than their younger colleagues.
It's the first time in my life that I've really felt or understood viscerally what discrimination is about.
Ensuring Canada's workers over 65 would cost more, but as that cohort continues to grow, it's a challenge they say needs to be addressed. Georgie Smythe, CBC News, Vancouver.
Now let's break down the news shaping our world. In a chaotic BC housing market, an innovative solution, co-ownership. Strangers bonding to make home ownership a reality.
There's no possible way I'd be able to buy anything.
But first, after a decade of anger and division, oil is about to flow through the Trans Mountain Pipeline expansion from oil country.
I believe it's still absolutely essential to us.
To the ocean.
Because the risks are real.
For some, it's a victory. For others, the fight has just begun. Aaron Collins followed the path of the pipeline to find out where Canadians stand. His journey begins in Edmonton, the first of a three-part series.
From the air, it may not look like much, but on the ground, the Trans Mountain Pipeline expansion loomed large long before it was even built. Dividing Canadians into those who oppose the line and those who rallied to support it. So those protests have pretty much wrapped up now. The project has too. The expanded Trans Mountain line will now move almost 3 times as much oil as it did before. That got us wondering how people who live along that line feel about it. So our team packed up and hit the road, looking to travel the entire length of the Trans Mountain expansion. Quite the road trip. The line starts in Edmonton, heading west for about 1,000 kilometers. It crosses the Rockies, then heads south to Kamloops before heading west to the coast, finally stopping at Trans Mountain's marine terminal in Burnaby. The line starts here in the heart of oil country at this Edmonton tank farm, and long before you get to the coast, it passes through Gainford, Alberta. Population 118, not counting the chickens. Around here, agriculture is many people's bread and butter, and those who don't farm often rely on pulling something else from the ground to get by.
A lot of people in this area, if they're not farming, they're working in oil and gas or used to be working in the coal.
Most people here more than okay with the line and the industry that supports it.
There's a balance for sure. I mean, we all have to eat, we have bills to pay, most of us drive cars. A lot of things rely on the oil and gas still, and until there are better alternatives in place for people that generally live in a rural environment, you have to step up and pay attention to the oil and gas.
But oil and gas comes with some risks. Pipelines do leak, spills do happen. The TMX line runs just along the other side of the highway here. Next to that is a train line. A derailment there about a decade ago caused an explosion, igniting oil cars and melting the siding off the house here. That close call makes the pipeline seem like a safer bet.
Something like a pipeline break or something like that is unlikely to happen. You're probably more likely to get hit by a car crossing the road. Yeah. So you got to put it all in perspective, right?
Doesn't keep you up at night.
No, the train.
Keeps you up at night. About an hour down the road is Edson, Alberta. The train station there, now a museum. This is an oil and gas town and the hub for the local construction of the TMX project. The benefits of all that building trickling down into every nook and cranny here, all the way to this local parts store.
Can you grab, Can you grab 2 of those blue propane bottles?
There was a big bump in sales here while the line was being built. It meant more work for the 15 employees here and throughout the town.
We had a lot of business indirectly from the pipeline and the construction crews and everybody going through Edson's.
A business has come back down since construction of the line wrapped, but that's the way of things in the up and down world of oil and gas. And there's faith that the next big energy project will soon spark the economy again.
Okay, so parts like this, important for the oil and gas industry. How important is oil and gas to the economy around here?
Not just around here, but all of Alberta. The oil and gas touches every facet of every community in one way or another.
You can expect the same standards.
Thank you.
Now, like in most small towns, you get the real story over coffee.
You just take it black?
Yep.
Yeah,
I
me
learned
too.
that in the trucking years.
Yeah, I was a truck driver too.
Yeah.
Places like this diner were packed during construction, and there's a feeling here that the line will be good for the whole country too.
Well, honestly, we have to remember Canada is built on natural resources. So, I mean, like it or not, you know, where people will, well, we shouldn't do this. Alberta is, that's been our driver for years, is natural resources.
That's why when opposition to the line was at its highest in some parts of Canada, people here in Edson took to the streets.
Was it frustrating that you had to kind of like get that message out so vocally?
Well, it was frustrating to an extent, but as Albertans, we understand this. So where other people were opposed, we were just letting the, you know, the other parts mean we're in favor of it, and this is why.
Heading west along the line, at least for now, support for the project remains strong. People can see and feel the impact of it up close. Places like Blue River, BC. Trans Mountain has long operated a facility here. The expansion meant lots of activity in a community where there isn't a lot going on. There's just a handful of kids enrolled at the local school. And like many small towns, every job matters.
Obviously, the building was a big source of revenues with all those workers in their communities. But as you continue to have maintenance crew, you'll have some permanent workers.
But the line is expected to have bigger impacts on the economy too. More pipeline capacity to the coast means more customers for more Canadian crude, and that likely means a better price too. And experts say that should benefit the broader Canadian economy.
It means a revenue of about $13 billion or so per year in new exports. Again, to put that in perspective, we exported about $125 billion of oil as Canada as a whole last year, so it will allow a big increase of about 10%.
A reminder that despite predictions that demand for oil could soon peak, this expansion is a reaction to a still growing appetite for fossil fuels. Construction began on the original line way back in 1952, fueled by demand for the large oil deposits found in Alberta in the 40s. Since it was built, Trans Mountain has always run through Kamloops, passing right by this dog park along the way. The park had to be closed during the twinning of the line, but it's open again.
She's known as the princess of the park, my dog. And I've had people drive by and yell, "Angie!"
People here used to the idea of their pups playing near the pipe.
I think that it's great that they twinned the pipe. Now we can actually move some oil safer. You know, it's old pipe, old technology. They didn't have the standards they have today when they put the pipe in. So I don't see any problem with it.
A positive spin, to be sure, but one gained through years of experience, living with the risks and benefiting from the rewards of the pipeline buried here.
So, Aaron, nice to see you. This was just the first part of your journey along the pipeline, and we'll have more of your stories, you know, as the week goes on. But I would imagine that people's feelings certainly shift as you move west.
Yeah, I mean, look, it changes a lot, obviously, right? During the first leg of our trip, we're in oil country, so support for TMX, obviously, it's going to be really strong. But as you head down the line, things get a lot more complicated. So tomorrow, we're going to be hearing from some of the many First Nations communities that the line passes through. And then on Wednesday, we're going to be on the coast in Burnaby, where the line ends and where opposition to it is definitely the strongest.
So I feel like I've known you for a while. I know you like to talk to just about everybody you meet. And I'm wondering if there was an encounter that surprised you more than others.
Well, look, it was a long drive, you're right. Lots of bad coffee, way too much fast food. That's the unsurprising part, I think. What did surprise me, I think, the most is the nuance that we found around this issue as we went. So take the woman from tonight's story in Gainford, Alberta. She's pro-pipeline. She's also shopping for an EV, right? Meanwhile, most of the folks we chatted with in Burnaby, they're rolling up in gas cars. So whichever side of the pipeline divide folks seem to be along the line, sort of on, they all seem to get that it's complicated, right? There's an understanding that when it comes to things like pipelines and the environment, there's no easy answers.
All right, Aaron Collins, thank you.
You bet.
Coming up, in a picturesque BC community, a unique solution to a housing crisis.
It's a fantastic relationship. You've got people there when you need them.
How a group came together to solve a common problem. That is next on The Breakdown. In a housing market out of reach for so many, Canadians are finding a different path to home ownership by co-owning with strangers.
I wish it could be possible for anyone who wanted this sort of life.
But this non-traditional route isn't without obstacles. Bonit Brach shows us how a group of strangers in BC created a community by sharing a mortgage.
On the banks of Howe Sound off of West Vancouver, nestled next to the ocean and mountainous vistas, are these charming cottages.
It feels like a fairy tale here, truly.
Yes, it does.
Here in Horseshoe Bay, detached homes cost at least $2 million. For Heidi Woodley and her neighbors, owning these cottages felt like a dream, simply out of reach. But it came true, thanks to the help of strangers turned neighbors and some like-minded investors.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm very happy. Yeah. Some days I pinch myself. Oh, hey, Yvette, you want to come in?
This isn't a commune. Rather,
It's a fantastic relationship. You've got people there when you need them.
splitting mortgages through co-ownership is one way some British Columbians are trying to own homes amid BC's housing crisis.
There's no possible way I'd be able to buy anything. I'd be renting, and it would be probably not the best rental.
So how did they make it happen? Well, Woodley started renting this place in 2020. She fell so in love with it, she wanted to buy it. Her landlord, who owned the cottages for nearly 30 years, said he'd only sell 8 of them together. Soon, the cottages were listed for $3.8 million, far out of financial reach.
Of course, you see the sign and your heart just plummets. You feel that feeling. It is heartbreaking.
But things changed when a realtor suggested she try co-ownership. Now, co-ownership can take many forms. Generally, it allows a group of people on the land title and includes one mortgage, and people pay their own share. But it's not always easy. It can take time to find reliable co-owners, it can be tough to get financing, and careful attention is needed for legal agreements, say if someone divorces, dies, or wants out. Here, since they are a large group of a dozen co-owners, Woodley and her neighbors made a company. Each of them are shareholders of the entire half-acre property. Each person here also has a monthly fee based on the square footage of their cottage.
We have insurance, we have utilities, taxes, common amenities as well.
But getting to this point took a lot of patience, legal meetings, and hope. For months, Heidi and Matt struggled to find buyers. When they finally had enough, the banks wouldn't budge on financing the group.
It was tumultuous. It was, a wild time.
After waiting and waiting, there was a twist. Meet Ellen Carpenter. He heard of the group's financial struggles and wanted to help.
When people come in community, we can create solutions that can find different ways of doing things.
Carpenter is a retired builder, and he's lived in co-housing for the last 28 years. He and his friends and family offered $2.5 million to help Woodley and her neighbors.
And I want to make an impact.
He hopes his return on the investment in the future can be used to help others in a similar situation.
You know, I wish it could be possible for anyone who wanted this sort of life.
The group is still trying to get financing from banks, but for now, they've had a unique housing solution for affordability challenges far too common.
But Nate, given the housing crisis, just how unique is this solution?
Well, Adrian, it took a lot of patience, planning, and yes, good fortune, but co-ownership is something that more Canadians are doing. Now, the recent Canada Housing Market Report found that 35% of Canadians said they bought with friends or family outside of a romantic relationship. So, you know, it really shows us how people are getting creative, they're being more innovative, trying to assess the risks to really achieve their dreams of home ownership.
All right, Banit, thank you. Banit Brach in Vancouver. From the housing quandary to intensifying wildfires, Canadians are seeking solutions. In BC, Indigenous communities are turning to tradition to fight fires and protect homes and lives.
This is just the final turn on protecting the reserve, helping nature out like we used to back in the day.
Indigenous communities are in a race to protect themselves. They're bringing back a tradition that was banned for decades.
We have to learn from our mistakes. Now we have to correct them.
We got ticket board back. I'm gonna need some more burners here, you guys.
We've been invited to the Bridge River Indian Band, or Hoiston, about 300 kilometers north of Vancouver, where a big plan is unfolding. A diverse team of band members and provincial firefighters is gathering for something unusual. They're not going to stop a fire, they're going to start one with what's called a cultural burn or prescribed burn.
So with that being said today, guys, safety is the #1 thing for today.
The threat of wildfire is always here and growing. Just last year, the community had to evacuate.
So that's just a small excerpt of Brady Strachan's story on the front line of a prescribed or cultural burn, how it's done and why experts say this is an example for other communities. The full story will be on The National in the coming days. And next, a 6-year-old fan gets a chance to shine on stage with his idol. The moment he steals the show, coming up. That is Punjabi superstar Diljit Dosanjh next to a very lucky fan, 6-year-old Anak Bhullar, who was called on stage to dance with him. Anak is a Bhangra dancer, so it was no surprise that he was a natural on stage. And tonight, the little boy who stole everyone's heart is our moment.
I like his dancing moves, and I love him.
It was remarkable. I mean, we were shaking, we were crying. It's something that Anak himself has manifested.
He's the best singer. I like all of the songs.
Through his Bhangra lessons, every time he comes home, he pretended that he was on stage with Diljit, so wanted to dress up like Diljit. Diljit caught his eye, brought him up there.
And after when he danced, he gave me the jacket, and it has a golden zipper, and it's way too big on me.
For my son to embrace his culture, his heritage, his language was something so wonderful, and just speaks to what Diljit has done globally.
This is fantastic. The pictures of that moment are fantastic. Diljit was the first Punjabi star to headline BC Place. That's history. It was also the biggest Punjabi concert outside of India, so this was huge for everyone. For all of us here at The National, thank you for being with us. You can watch anywhere, anytime on the free CBC News app and subscribe to The National's YouTube channel. I'm Adrienne Arsenault. Take care.